What if one god held the key to creating the universe, inventing writing and outsmarting chaos itself with nothing but intellect? Meet Thoth, Egypt's enigmatic god of wisdom, whose cunning mind shaped history and whose secrets still challenge our modern world. Dive into his epic mythology and uncover truths that will leave you questioning everything.
Welcome to Secrets of the Ancients, where ancient mysteries awaken.
Today, we're exploring Thoth, the ibis-headed god of ancient Egypt, revered as the divine scribe, master of wisdom and architect of cosmic order. Thoth wasn't just a deity. He was the embodiment of intellect, the keeper of secrets, and the mediator who ensured balance in a world teetering between chaos and harmony. His stories are not only tales of divine power, but also profound reflections on the human quest for knowledge, justice, and meaning. As we journey through his mythology, we'll connect his ancient wisdom to modern challenges, from the ethics of artificial intelligence to the global struggle for truth in an era of disinformation. So grab a notebook, Thoth would approve, and let's uncover the secrets of this extraordinary god. In the shadowed mists of ancient Egyptian lore, where the boundaries of existence blur into the infinite, Thoth emerges as a figure of profound enigma, a god who seems to defy the very fabric of creation itself. The priests of Hermopolis, that sacred city nestled along the Nile, whispered of a deity who was not born but self-begotten, rising from the primordial waters of Nun, the boundless abyss of chaos that preceded the cosmos. Picture it, an endless sea of formless void, churning with potential, and from its depths, Thoth wills himself into being through the sheer power of intellect and word. This isn't just a myth, it's a metaphysical statement about the creative potency of thought, a concept that resonates as much with ancient scribes as it does with modern philosophers grappling with the origins of consciousness. Yet the tales of Thoth's genesis are not singular but kaleidoscopic, shifting with the teller and the time. In another strand of Egyptian mythology, Thoth springs from the lips of Ra, the radiant sun god, as if spoken into existence by divine utterance, a poetic nod to his role as the master of language. Stranger still, some myths claim he emerged from the forehead of Set, the tempestuous god of chaos, a birth that positions Thoth as a bridge between order and disorder, a mediator born from the tension of opposites. As a historian, I find this multiplicity captivating. It reflects the Egyptian mindset. Truth isn't fixed but fluid, a mosaic of perspectives that allowed each city, from Hermopolis to Heliopolis, to craft its own divine narrative without contradiction. This flexibility speaks to a culture that valued harmony over dogma, a lesson we might heed in our own fractious times. Thoth's iconography deepens his mystique. Most often, he's depicted as an ibis-headed figure, his long, curved beak a symbol of precision, as if he's probing the depths of knowledge itself. The ibis, a bird of the Nile's marshes, was revered for its deliberate, almost scholarly demeanor, fitting for a god who records the verdicts of eternity. Alternatively, Thoth appears as a baboon, a creature tied to the moon's cyclical wisdom, its reflective gaze mirroring the intuitive insight that complements his rational mind. These dual forms, ibis and baboon, aren't mere artistic whims. They embody the Egyptian understanding of wisdom as a dance between logic and intuition, a balance we still chase in our debates over science versus spirituality. From a philosophical standpoint, Thoth's origins are a meditation on creation itself. His self-emergence from none parallels modern cosmological theories, where order crystallizes from the chaos of the Big Bang. The Egyptians saw none not as emptiness but as infinite potential, a concept echoed in quantum physics, notion of a universe born from fluctuation. Thoth's act of self-creation suggests that language and thought are not mere tools but cosmic forces, capable of shaping reality. Think about it. Every law, every scientific breakthrough, every sacred text begins with words. In ancient Egypt, Thoth's hieroglyphs carved order into stone, just as our digital codes now shape the virtual world. But there's a shadow here too. Words can mislead as easily as they enlighten, a tension we'll see Thoth navigate throughout his myths. Archaeologically, Thoth's prominence in Hermopolis offers clues to his cultural role. Excavations reveal temples adorned with ibis motifs, and the discovery of millions of mummified ibises in animal necropolises underscores the devotion he inspired. These offerings, often made by scribes and scholars, suggest Thoth was more than a deity. He was a patron of those who sought to preserve knowledge against the erosion of time. Yet his outsider status in the Egyptian pantheon, born not in the central hubs of Thebes or Memphis but in the peripheral Hermopolis, casts him as a liminal figure, always on the edge of the divine drama. This marginality, I'd argue, is what makes him so compelling. Thoth doesn't dominate, he facilitates, weaving order from chaos without claiming the spotlight. Spiritually, Thoth's origin story invites us to ponder our own beginnings. If a god can emerge from chaos through will and word, what might we create with our own thoughts? In a world where misinformation floods our screens and ideologies clash, Thoth's emergence from none feels like a call to find clarity amid confusion. His story isn't just about a god. It's about the human capacity to impose meaning on the void, to craft order from the raw stuff of existence. As we move deeper into his myths, we'll see how Thoth's wisdom shaped not just the cosmos but the very soul of ancient Egypt. In the intricate tapestry of Egyptian mythology, Thoth stands not as a warrior or a creator in the traditional sense, but as the silent architect of cosmic harmony, the divine scribe whose quill inscribed the fates of gods and mortals alike. His role as the recorder of divine deeds and arbiter of disputes places him at the heart of Egypt's spiritual and moral order, a figure whose wisdom ensured the delicate balance of man, truth, justice, and cosmic equilibrium. Picture him, ibis-headed, poised with a reed pen, standing vigilant beside Ra's solar bark as it journeys through the perilous underworld each night, or in the solemn hall of man, where he meticulously records the verdicts of souls weighed against the feather of truth. Thoth wasn't just keeping notes, he was safeguarding the very structure of existence. As a historian, I'm struck by how Thoth's role reflects the Egyptian obsession with order in a world surrounded by the chaos of deserts and floods. The act of writing for the Egyptians was sacred, an extension of Thoth's divine intellect. His presence in the Hall of Man, where hearts were judged to determine a soul's worthiness for the afterlife, underscores his impartiality. If a heart was heavier than the feather, weighed down by deceit or sin, Thoth recorded its doom as Ammon, the devourer, consumed it. If lighter, he noted its passage to the field of reeds, a paradise of eternal peace. This wasn't mere bookkeeping. It was a cosmic audit, ensuring no soul escaped the scales of justice. Archaeologically, we see this reverence in the vast necropolises of mummified ibises, offerings to Thoth by those hoping to curry favor for their own judgment, a testament to his enduring influence over life and death. One of Thoth's most riveting tales of mediation involves the fierce rivalry between Horus, the sky god, and Set, the lord of chaos, over the throne of Egypt. After Osiris's murder, the divine succession turned into a cosmic soap opera, complete with betrayal, trickery, and a showdown that would make modern reality TV blush. In a particularly wild episode, Set attempted to assert dominance over Horus through a compromising act. Let's call it a power play cloaked in metaphor to keep things YouTube-friendly. Horus, quick-witted and aided by his mother Isis, turned the tables, catching Set's move and countering with his own. When the dispute reached the Ennead, the Council of Nine Gods, it was Thoth who stepped in, not as a member but as the trusted advisor. Using his magic, he revealed the truth. Horus's integrity shone like a golden solar disk, which Thoth claimed as a crown, while Set's scheme unraveled in disgrace. From a historical lens, this myth is more than a scandalous tale. It's a narrative blueprint for man. The Horus-Set conflict mirrors the political struggles of ancient Egypt, where rival factions vied for power, yet the ideal of a unified kingdom prevailed. Thoth's role as a neutral arbiter reflects the Egyptian ideal of leadership. Not might, but wisdom ensures stability. Compare this to the pharaohs, who often styled themselves as upholders of mad, mediating disputes to maintain social harmony. The story also reveals the Egyptians' nuanced view of justice. Thoth doesn't destroy Set but restores balance, allowing Horus to ascend while preserving the divine order. This approach feels strikingly relevant in 2025, where polarized politics often demand mediators who can navigate conflicts without fueling division. Philosophically, Thoth's mediation offers a profound lesson about the nature of wisdom. He doesn't wield power through force or charisma, but through insight and clarity. His magic in the Horus-Set tale, revealing truth through divine discernment, parallels modern tools like forensic evidence or blockchain verification, which we use to uncover facts in a world muddied by misinformation. Yet, Thoth's impartiality is what sets him apart. He doesn't take sides, he seeks truth. In an era where tribalism often trumps reason, Thoth's example challenges us to prioritize fairness over loyalty, a principle that could guide everything from courtroom judgments to online debates. Spiritually, Thoth's role in the Hall of Maat resonates with timeless questions about morality and legacy. The weighing of the heart wasn't just a divine trial, it was a mirror held up to the soul, asking, "Have you lived with integrity?" The Egyptians believed Thoth's record was eternal, a ledger of existence that outlasted the body. This belief finds echoes in modern spiritual practices, where mindfulness and self-reflection aim to align our actions with our values. Thoth's presence in these myths reminds us that true wisdom isn't just about knowing facts, but about understanding their weight, how they shape lives, societies, and eternities. Thoth's mediation extended beyond the Horus-Set drama. In another tale, when Ra's daughter Tefnut fled to Nubia in a divine tantrum, it was Thoth, disguised as a baboon, who coaxed her back with stories of Egypt's beauty and fables of unity. His patience, repeating pleas over 1,000 times, some say, shows a diplomacy rooted in empathy, not coercion. This story, found in texts like the Myth of the Eye of Ra, highlights Thoth's ability to bridge emotional and rational divides, a skill we desperately need in today's fractured world. Whether soothing a goddess or settling a throne dispute, Thoth's genius lies in his ability to listen, reason, and persuade, a trifecta that defined him as the ultimate cosmic scribe and mediator. In the intricate tapestry of Egyptian mythology, Thoth stands not as a warrior or a creator in the traditional sense, but as the silent architect of cosmic harmony, the divine scribe whose quill inscribed the fates of gods and mortals alike. His role as the recorder of divine deeds and arbiter of disputes places him at the heart of Egypt's spiritual and moral order, a figure whose wisdom ensured the delicate balance of truth, justice, and cosmic equilibrium. Picture him, ibis-headed, poised with a reed pen, standing vigilant beside Ra's solar bark as it journeys through the perilous underworld each night, or in the solemn hall of where he meticulously records the verdicts of souls weighed against the feather of truth. Thoth wasn't just keeping notes, he was safeguarding the very structure of existence. As a historian, I'm struck by how Thoth's role reflects the Egyptian obsession with order in a world surrounded by the chaos of deserts and floods. The act of writing for the Egyptians was sacred, an extension of Thoth's divine intellect. His presence in the Hall of where hearts were judged to determine a soul's worthiness for the afterlife, underscores his impartiality. If a heart was heavier than the feather, weighed down by deceit or sin, Thoth recorded its doom as Ammon, the devourer, consumed it. If lighter, he noted its passage to the field of reeds, a paradise of eternal peace. This wasn't mere bookkeeping. It was a cosmic audit, ensuring no soul escaped the scales of justice. Archaeologically, we see this reverence in the vast necropolises of mummified ibises, offerings to Thoth by those hoping to curry favor for their own judgment, a testament to his enduring influence over life and death. One of Thoth's most riveting tales of mediation involves the fierce rivalry between Horus, the sky god, and Set, the lord of chaos, over the throne of Egypt. After Osiris's murder, the divine succession turned into a cosmic soap opera, complete with betrayal, trickery, and a showdown that would make modern reality TV blush. In a particularly wild episode, Set attempted to assert dominance over Horus through a compromising act. Let's call it a power play cloaked in metaphor to keep things YouTube-friendly. Horus, quick-witted and aided by his mother Isis, turned the tables, catching Set's move and countering with his own. When the dispute reached the Ennead, the Council of Nine Gods, it was Thoth who stepped in, not as a member but as the trusted advisor. Using his magic, he revealed the truth. Horus's integrity shone like a golden solar disk, which Thoth claimed as a crown, while Set's scheme unraveled in disgrace. From a historical lens, this myth is more than a scandalous tale. It's a narrative blueprint for The Horus-Set conflict mirrors the political struggles of ancient Egypt, where rival factions vied for power, yet the ideal of a unified kingdom prevailed. Thoth's role as a neutral arbiter reflects the Egyptian ideal of leadership. Not might, but wisdom ensures stability. Compare this to the pharaohs, who often styled themselves as upholders of mediating disputes to maintain social harmony. The story also reveals the Egyptians' nuanced view of justice. Thoth doesn't destroy Set but restores balance, allowing Horus to ascend while preserving the divine order. This approach feels strikingly relevant in 2025, where polarized politics often demand mediators who can navigate conflicts without fueling division. Philosophically, Thoth's mediation offers a profound lesson about the nature of wisdom. He doesn't wield power through force or charisma, but through insight and clarity. His magic in the Horus-Set tale, revealing truth through divine discernment, parallels modern tools like forensic evidence or blockchain verification, which we use to uncover facts in a world muddied by misinformation. Yet, Thoth's impartiality is what sets him apart. He doesn't take sides, he seeks truth. In an era where tribalism often trumps reason, Thoth's example challenges us to prioritize fairness over loyalty, a principle that could guide everything from courtroom judgments to online debates. Spiritually, Thoth's role in the Hall of Maat resonates with timeless questions about morality and legacy. The weighing of the heart wasn't just a divine trial. It was a mirror held up to the soul, asking, "Have you lived with integrity?" The Egyptians believed Thoth's record was eternal, a ledger of existence that outlasted the body. This belief finds echoes in modern spiritual practices, where mindfulness and self-reflection aim to align our actions with our values. Thoth's presence in these myths reminds us that true wisdom isn't just about knowing facts, but about understanding their weight, how they shape lives, societies, and eternities. Thoth's mediation extended beyond the Horus and Set drama. In another tale, when Ra's daughter Tefnut fled to Nubia in a divine tantrum, it was Thoth, disguised as a baboon, who coaxed her back with stories of Egypt's beauty and fables of unity. His patience, repeating pleas over 1,000 times, some say, shows a diplomacy rooted in empathy, not coercion. This story, found in texts like the myth of the Eye of Ra, highlights Thoth's ability to bridge emotional and rational divides, a skill we desperately need in today's fractured world. Whether soothing a goddess or settling a throne dispute, Thoth's genius lies in his ability to listen, reason, and persuade, a trifecta that defined him as the ultimate cosmic scribe and mediator. In the intricate weave of Egyptian mythology, Thoth's genius shines most brilliantly in a tale where he bends the very fabric of time itself, a feat not of brute force, but of cunning intellect. The myth tells of a cosmic crisis. Ra, the sun god, enraged by his granddaughter Nut's forbidden love with her brother Jeb, cursed her to remain barren on every day of the year. This divine decree threatened the continuity of the gods, for Nut was destined to bear the next generation of deities. Enter Thoth, the ibis-headed master of wisdom, who saw not an obstacle but an opportunity. With a mind sharper than the Nile's edge, he challenged Khonsu, the moon god, to a high-stakes game of Senate, an ancient board game akin to cosmic chess. Thoth's wager, a fraction of Khonsu's lunar light. His victory was no mere luck. He won enough moonlight to craft 5 additional days, appending them to the 360-day Egyptian calendar. These extra days, free from Ra's curse, allowed Nut to give birth to Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, and Horus the Elder, securing the divine lineage and reshaping the rhythm of existence. As a historian, I find this myth electrifying, not just for its narrative flair, but for what it reveals about Egyptian culture. The 365-day calendar, attributed to Thoth's ingenuity, was a cornerstone of their civilization, aligning agricultural cycles with the Nile's annual floods. Archaeological evidence, like the water clocks and star charts found in tombs, shows how meticulously the Egyptians tracked time, a practice rooted in this mythic recalibration. Thoth's creation wasn't just practical. It was a triumph of human intellect over divine limitation, a story that celebrates problem-solving as a sacred act. The calendar's precision enabled Egypt to thrive, from planting crops to timing religious festivals, proving that Thoth's wisdom wasn't confined to the heavens but shaped life on the ground. Philosophically, this tale is a meditation on time itself, a force the Egyptians revered as both cyclical and eternal. Thoth's manipulation of the lunar cycle to create new days reflects humanity's audacious quest to impose order on the cosmos. It's no coincidence that Thoth, the god of writing, also masters time. Both are tools to structure chaos, to give meaning to the infinite. This resonates with modern philosophy, where thinkers like Heidegger grappled with time as the horizon of being. In 2025, We see parallels in our scientific endeavors, whether it's synchronizing global systems via atomic clocks or probing the nature of time in quantum mechanics. Thoth's myth reminds us that time, like knowledge, is a construct we shape to navigate the universe's vastness. Spiritually, the story carries a deeper resonance. Thoth's victory over Khonsu is a metaphor for transcending limitations through wisdom. In Egyptian cosmology, time wasn't linear but cyclical, tied to the eternal renewal of man. By adding days, Thoth didn't just defy Ra's curse. He expanded the framework of existence, creating space for creation itself. This mirrors spiritual practices today, where mindfulness or meditation seeks to stretch time, allowing us to find meaning in the present moment. Thoth's act suggests that wisdom can alter our perception of reality, a concept echoed in modern mindfulness movements that encourage us to pause and reframe our relationship with time's relentless march. From an archaeological perspective, the reverence for Thoth's calendar is evident in the artifacts of ancient Egypt. The Dendera zodiac, a bas-relief from a temple ceiling, maps celestial cycles with stunning precision, reflecting the temporal order Thoth introduced. Temples dedicated to him, like those in Hermopolis, often featured lunar imagery alongside ibis motifs, tying his wisdom to the moon's rhythms. The millions of mummified ibises found in sites like Saqqara suggest that devotees saw Thoth as a guardian of time's sanctity, a deity who ensured the seasons turned and the gods endured. This devotion underscores a society that viewed time not as an enemy but as a divine gift, one Thoth wrested from the cosmos through sheer intellect. The myth also offers a cultural lens. The game of Senate, central to Thoth's victory, was more than a pastime. It was a ritualized reflection of life's uncertainties, played by pharaohs and commoners alike. Boards found in tombs like that of Tutankhamun suggest Senate was a bridge to the divine, a way to navigate fate's unpredictability. Thoth's triumph in this game positions him as a master of strategy, a figure who outwits chaos without resorting to violence. In a world where power was often tied to military might, this emphasis on intellectual prowess is striking. It's a reminder that Egypt valued the mind as much as the sword, a balance we might consider in our own era of technological and geopolitical rivalries. In 2025, Thoth's creation of time feels uncannily relevant. Our global challenges, climate change, resource scarcity, space exploration, require us to rethink how we measure and use time. The COP30 climate conference, unfolding now, demands long-term planning akin to Thoth's calendar, aligning human activity with nature's cycles to avert environmental chaos. Similarly, advancements in space travel, like NASA's Artemis program, push us to redefine time beyond Earth's orbit, much as Thoth reshaped the lunar calendar. His story challenges us to see time not as a constraint, but as a canvas for innovation, a space where wisdom can carve out new possibilities. Thoth's creation of the 5 extra days is more than a myth. It's a testament to the power of intellect to transform reality. By outsmarting Khonsu, Thoth didn't just add days. He expanded the boundaries of what's possible, a lesson that echoes in our quest to solve today's crises. As we delve deeper into his myths, we'll see how this cunning god continues to inspire, reminding us that wisdom, not might, is the key to mastering the chaos of existence. Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, stands as more than a relic of Egypt's ancient past. His myths pulse with relevance in our chaotic, tech-driven world of 2025. As the divine scribe who tamed chaos with intellect and balanced truth against deception, Thoth offers a lens through which we can navigate the challenges of our time. His stories of mediation, innovation, and the responsible use of knowledge resonate in today's debates over technology, truth, and sustainability. Let's explore three pressing issues where Thoth's wisdom illuminates our path, drawing parallels between his ancient deeds and the crises shaping our modern landscape. 5.1. The Ethics of Artificial Intelligence. Thoth's gift of writing, as recounted in Plato's Phaedrus, sparked a divine debate about knowledge's double-edged nature. Thoth warned that writing could erode memory and foster shallow understanding, a prophecy that feels chillingly prescient in 2025 as artificial intelligence reshapes our world. AI, like Thoth's hieroglyphs, is a tool of immense power, capable of preserving and generating knowledge at an unprecedented scale. Yet, it carries risks Thoth might recognize: the potential to amplify misinformation or reduce human agency. In July 2025, global headlines highlight the ethical quagmire of AI-generated deepfakes, which have disrupted elections in nations like India and South Africa by spreading fabricated videos of political figures. A report from the Global AI Ethics Consortium notes that 72% of surveyed citizens fear AI's role in distorting truth, echoing Thoth's ancient concerns about external tools undermining authentic wisdom. As a historian, I see Thoth's role as the arbiter of truth in myths like the Horus and Set dispute as a model for addressing AI's challenges. His magical discernment, revealing hidden realities to ensure justice, parallels the need for robust verification systems, like blockchain-based authenticity protocols or advanced forensic algorithms, to counter deepfakes and misinformation. Philosophically, Thoth's impartiality urges us to approach AI with ethical clarity, not blind enthusiasm. His legacy suggests that technology must serve man, the Egyptian principle of balance and truth, rather than chaos. In 2025, as companies like xAI, creators of tools like me, push for responsible AI development, Thoth's wisdom reminds us to prioritize human discernment over algorithmic output, ensuring our creations amplify understanding rather than erode it. 5.2. Global Disinformation and the Search for Truth. Thoth's role as the recorder of truth in the Hall of Man, where souls were judged against the feather of truth, speaks directly to our struggle with disinformation in 2025. The world is grappling with a fractured media landscape, where social platforms amplify polarized narratives, undermining trust in institutions. Recent events, like the 2025 Brazilian election controversies, saw false social media claims about voter fraud spark protests, while in the EU, misinformation campaigns have fueled anti-immigrant sentiment ahead of parliamentary votes. These echo the chaos Thoth sought to quell in myths, where he resolved divine disputes with clarity and fairness. From a historical perspective, Thoth's impartiality as a mediator mirrors the role of ancient scribes who documented legal and political agreements to maintain social order. Today, we need modern equivalents: independent fact-checkers, transparent algorithms, and media literacy initiatives to restore trust. Philosophically, Thoth's commitment to MAD challenges us to prioritize truth over tribalism. His ability to navigate the Horus and Set rivalry without taking sides offers a blueprint for journalists and policymakers striving to bridge divides. In 2025, initiatives like the Global Truth Accord, a UN-backed effort to standardize digital fact-checking, reflect Thoth's spirit, aiming to create a shared foundation of truth in a fragmented world. Spiritually, Thoth's role as a scribe invites us to reflect on our own responsibility to seek truth, whether through critical thinking or mindfulness practices that cut through the noise of misinformation. 5.3. Climate change and the ordering of chaos. Thoth's creation of the 365-day calendar, outwitting the moon god Khonsu to align human life with nature's cycles, is a masterclass in using intellect to tame chaos. In 2025, this resonates powerfully with the global fight against climate change, a crisis that threatens to unravel the delicate balance of our planet. The COP30 climate conference, unfolding in July 2025, has spotlighted the urgent need for collective action, with nations like China and the US clashing over carbon neutrality timelines. Thoth's diplomatic finesse in mediating divine conflicts, whether between Horus and Set or Ra and Tefnut, offers a model for navigating these geopolitical tensions. His calendar myth, aligning agriculture with the Nile's floods, parallels our need to harmonize human activity with environmental limits. Archaeologically, Egypt's reliance on Thoth's calendar underscores the importance of temporal precision in sustaining civilization. Water clocks and astronomical texts from sites like Edfu reveal how the Egyptians used Thoth's gift to predict floods, a practice akin to modern climate modeling. Philosophically, Thoth's story suggests that innovation can reshape reality. His 5 extra days created space for life, just as renewable energy and carbon capture could create space for a sustainable future. Spiritually, Thoth's act of ordering time reflects a deeper call to align with the rhythms of the earth, a principle echoed in indigenous philosophies and modern eco-spiritual movements that urge us to live in harmony with nature. As COP30 debates solutions like global reforestation or methane reduction, Thoth's legacy inspires us to wield knowledge creatively, crafting solutions that restore MAD to our planet. 5.4. Cultural polarization and the need for mediation. Beyond technology and climate, Thoth's wisdom speaks to the cultural polarization gripping 2025. From debates over free speech on platforms like X to protests over cultural heritage in nations like France and Nigeria, societies are struggling to find common ground. Thoth's role as a mediator, seen in his gentle persuasion of Tefnut or his arbitration in the Horus Set dispute, offers a timeless lesson. He didn't force consensus but used stories, reason, and empathy to bridge divides. In 2025, this approach could guide efforts to heal cultural rifts, whether through dialogue-based initiatives like the World Cultural Forum or grassroots movements promoting mutual understanding. Historically, Thoth's outsider status in the Egyptian pantheon, born in Hermopolis, not the central hubs of Thebes or Memphis, made him a natural mediator, unaligned with any faction. This mirrors the need for neutral voices in today's culture wars, where impartial facilitators can foster dialogue over dogma. Philosophically, Thoth's emphasis on balance challenges us to move beyond binary thinking, us versus them, right versus wrong, and seek synthesis. Spiritually, his myths remind us that wisdom lies in listening, a practice that resonates with modern mindfulness movements that emphasize empathy as a path to unity. As we navigate these turbulent times, Thoth's example urges us to mediate with patience and insight, turning conflict into opportunity for growth. Thoth's myths, from his creation of time to his role as truth's guardian, are not dusty relics but living lessons. In 2025, as we wrestle with AI's ethics, disinformation spread, climate chaos, and cultural divides, Thoth's wisdom offers a guiding light. His stories remind us that intellect, wielded with fairness and foresight, can transform chaos into order, just as he did millennia ago. Thoth, the ibis-headed deity of wisdom, writing, and cosmic balance, casts a shadow far longer than the sands of Egypt's deserts. His influence stretches across millennia, weaving through cultures, philosophies, and even the digital age of 2025, where his lessons resonate with uncanny clarity. As the divine scribe who gifted humanity hieroglyphs, mediated divine disputes, and crafted time itself, Thoth is not merely a mythological figure, but a timeless archetype of intellect and equilibrium. His legacy transcends the ancient world, shaping the spiritual, intellectual, and cultural currents of civilizations past and present. From the Greek syncretism of Hermes to the modern fascination with knowledge's power and peril. From a historical perspective, Thoth's impact is etched into the very stones of Egypt. His cult, centered in Hermopolis, thrived from the pre-dynastic period, c. 6000–3150 BCE, through the Ptolemaic era, c. 300 BCE, a testament to his enduring reverence. Archaeological finds, such as the millions of mummified ibises unearthed at Tuna el Jebel and Saqqara, reveal a devotion that spans social classes, from scribes to farmers, all seeking Thoth's favor for wisdom or a favorable afterlife judgment. Temples adorned with his symbols, ibis, baboon, crescent moon, stand as monuments to a society that saw knowledge as divine. The Rosetta Stone, that key to unlocking Egypt's secrets, is a direct heir to Thoth's gift of writing, enabling us to read the voices of a civilization silenced by time. These artifacts underscore Thoth's role as the patron of scribes, whose meticulous records preserved Egypt's laws, sciences, and myths, ensuring their survival through invasions and empires. Philosophically, Thoth's legacy is a meditation on the nature of wisdom itself. His dual forms, ibis for precision, baboon for intuition, embody the synthesis of reason and insight, a balance that philosophers from Plato to Kant have wrestled with. In the Phaedrus, Plato's recounting of Thoth's debate with Thamus over writing's merits foreshadows modern questions about technology's impact on cognition. In 2025, as we navigate the ethical quagmires of AI and digital overload, Thoth's story challenges us to temper innovation with discernment. His role as a mediator, resolving conflicts like the Horus Set rivalry with impartiality, offers a model for navigating today's polarized ideologies. Thoth reminds us that true wisdom lies not in accumulating facts, but in weaving them into harmony, a principle that echoes in contemporary calls for interdisciplinary thinking to solve global challenges. Spiritually, Thoth's influence ripples through time, most notably in his syncretism with the Greek god Hermes, birthing the figure of Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great sage of Hermeticism. The Corpus Hermeticum, a collection of texts attributed to this mythic figure, shaped Renaissance philosophy, blending Egyptian mysticism with Greek rationalism. These writings, rediscovered in the 15th century, inspired thinkers like Marsilio Ficino, who saw in Thoth Hermes a bridge between the divine and human intellect. Today, Thoth's spiritual legacy persists in neo-pagan and esoteric movements, where his symbols, the crescent moon, the Ankh, evoke the quest for hidden knowledge. In 2025, as mindfulness and spiritual practices gain traction, Thoth's role as the recorder of souls in the Hall of Ma'at resonates with those seeking inner truth, urging us to weigh our actions against the feather of integrity. Culturally, Thoth's presence endures in modern storytelling. He appears in Neil Gaiman's American Gods as Mr. Ibis, a scribe chronicling the clash of old and new deities, a nod to his eternal role as knowledge's keeper. Video games like Smite and Assassin's Creed Origins cast him as a figure of arcane power, while his influence in pop culture reflects a fascination with wisdom's mystique. The 2025 resurgence of interest in ancient mythologies, seen in museum exhibits like the British Museum's Egyptian Wisdom Showcase highlights Thoth's appeal as a symbol of intellectual mastery. His story inspires creators and thinkers, reminding us that knowledge, when wielded with purpose, can shape worlds. Archaeologically, Thoth's legacy is vivid in the artifacts that bear his mark. The Dendera zodiac, with its lunar and stellar imagery, reflects his mastery of time and the cosmos, while papyri like the Book of the Dead show how his writing guided souls through the afterlife. The sheer scale of ibis burials, over 6 million in some necropolises, suggests a society that saw Thoth as a gatekeeper to eternity, a deity whose favor could tip the scales of judgment. These findings, coupled with inscriptions praising Thoth as Lord of the Sacred Words, reveal a culture that revered knowledge as a divine force, a perspective that challenges our often utilitarian view of information in 2025. In today's world, Thoth's legacy speaks to our struggles with knowledge's proliferation and its pitfalls. The internet, like Thoth's hieroglyphs, is a repository of human thought, but it risks drowning us in noise without wisdom to navigate it. His mediation in divine conflicts mirrors the need for dialogue in resolving 2025's cultural and political divides, from debates over digital censorship to global trade tensions. His creation of the calendar, aligning human life with nature's rhythms, inspires our efforts to address climate change through innovation, as seen in COP30's push for sustainable technologies. Thoth's story is a call to action, to wield knowledge with responsibility, to seek balance in a fragmented world, and to innovate with an eye toward harmony. As we stand at the crossroads of technology and tradition, Thoth remains a beacon, guiding us to craft a future where wisdom, not chaos, prevails. Thoth's mythology offers 3 key lessons for 2025. Knowledge is power, but wisdom is paramount. Thoth's gift of writing transformed civilization, but without wisdom, knowledge can lead to chaos. As we navigate AI and digital media, we must prioritize critical thinking. Balance is the key to justice. Thoth's impartiality in divine disputes teaches us to seek fairness in a polarized world, whether in politics or social discourse. Innovation shapes reality. From calendars to hieroglyphs, Thoth's creations ordered the cosmos. Today, we must innovate to address climate change and global challenges, ensuring harmony for future generations. Thank you for joining Secrets of the Ancients. If Thoth's wisdom inspires you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the mysteries of the past. Leave a comment. How do you think Thoth's lessons apply to our world today? Until next time, keep seeking the secrets that shape our universe.